on walked and everything. No, you did walk.
I did walk. I just didn't get the actual diploma until I got done that one credit.
You graduated in December, right? Or the spring?
I graduated the following summer in 2019 because I
No,
failed
but did
this.
you walk? My bad. Did you
Oh,
walk?
I walked that summer, yeah, in
Okay.
2018 that I was supposed to in the pouring rain.
Oh, I was literally about to ask. I'm like, so whoever listens to this, so then that answers our two stories are 100% different about graduation day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Omer, you go first about your graduation day.
So on mine, it was literally there was the potential of storms. So depending on what time of day, we might change it to be inside or whatever, in the gymnasium instead of in the quad where it normally is held. Because of the major I was in, it was one of the later ones to graduate. So I didn't. My ceremony wasn't until like 2 in the afternoon. So because of that, it before the ceremony started, we came down, took like graduation pictures with like friends and all that. It slowly started to rain. Started a little drizzle. It spit first, then started a little drizzling. Then it went into one of the buildings to like line up for uh graduating. The only good thing about my graduation is versus any other time I've had to graduate because my last name is Whitmer, I always had to be in the last. It was just on if you got in the line, no matter where you went, that's where you went. And then you just gave the person who was saying your name, the card that said your name, and then you just said your name as you walked across.
Did you guys
But
go by colleges?
yeah, my colleges.
Okay.
But once we came back out, it started to pour. And then there was supposed to be a bunch of speeches people were supposed to give and all this. And they just like, you know what? We're just going to cut it short because we're getting rained on. And, I'm in my cap and gown. My cap's doing an okay job of making sure the rain doesn't hit me. But outside of that, I'm getting soaked. I get up.
Sucks.
I get up. Everyone does their thing. They try to go as quickly as they can. I don't really have my phone on me and Bloom for some reason at the quad, the reception on my phone was terrible. So I wasn't getting any of the texts. My mom was like, what they wanted to do was once I got my name called, we just leave. Just so
Okay.
we out of
I
the
know a lot of people
rain.
who did that. Yeah.
But I never got those messages until the ceremony ended, not realizing my brothers went to the cars to get out of the rain. They were waiting. My parents were waiting for me. After that, I just kind of quickly ran to I think it was my dad's car, maybe my car, I forget which. And because at this point I was already packed up from everything I had in my apartment, so I just went to one of my bags, changed, and so did my dad. So my dad wore the same thing I wore, or not the same like clothes and everything, because at that point you were like just soaking wet that you pretty much had to change.
Okay.
Like it was
Gotcha.
bad.
That sucks.
It was bad.
All right.
Like it happened after they would have made the call to say, "All right, we're doing this inside." Like it was that morning. It was like the morning of, like depending on the storms. Like okay, you're gonna probably make it out of this without getting rained on. In the middle of it, we got rained on. If it was any other ceremony, the morning ceremony, the early afternoon one at like 11 or 12, no, we had it at 2. So that's when the rain came.
But you had multiple? There were multiple?
Multiple colleges. So like science and stuff like that, they went like first. And then like liberal
you
arts.
You all sat together though, right?
No, we were all different.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's so weird. That's different. That was way different than mine then.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. That's all right. Whitmer, you beat me. That's worse than mine.
Because we didn't have a full because I know some colleges it's like you have your whole class like that, your graduating class, the whole school itself. You have that ceremony, and then you have like at times a separate ceremony of your college itself. But we didn't have that big one. It was just because where the quad was, it's not that big enough to accommodate everyone, so they just cut it to that.
You didn't do it on the football field?
No, we do it on the quad instead.
Interesting. So, one thing, straight up, yours is worse. I thought mine was bad. Yours is worse. Mine was actually we did ours.
My sister's was not as bad, but it was one of those where hers was inside. but because as many people would before you graduate, you go out, it's like your last night essentially to party and get drunk and everything because you're graduating the next day. I did that. I got my pictures for some reason. I don't know why. Our good friend Abby and I decided after the bars, we're not going to take a shuttle back. We're not going to Uber back. We are going to walk back from the bars downtown to our apartment in the middle of the night.
How do you know why I never visited?
Oh yeah, I know why you didn't. And to make it even worse, we were really drunk at this point because the typical like hill that we went down, like that separate both campuses, we didn't go down that. Yeah. We didn't go up that hill because we went up a second. Like there's a back entrance essentially that drives all the way up to where our apartments were. We went up that way.
Like where your old like dorm rooms were, like that side. Mm-hmm. You can go left, you can go right, and on the right hand side is that like parking garage where Jeff and I parked that first time we came up to visit, and we were in the apartments to visit. Yeah. First time.
Yeah.
That side you went up. Mm-hmm. How stupid are you?
We're really stupid. We were really drunk.
That's awful. It's like you're basically like saying, all right, so here's your apartments. You're like, instead of going this way, we want to go this way. Mm-hmm. That's what you basically did.
I was saying that. I was like, instead of going up, we just went up another, not even a light.
You went up and around. Like, you went up and around.
Essentially, yeah. But not even that. It was, I would not suggest this at all in the middle of the night in a very dimly lit area that was a back road that just brought you back up to your apartments. I don't know why we thought that was a good idea. I think it was kind of nice out. So we're like, let's just keep walking. And we just...
I would never, ever do that. Jeff, I didn't even want to go up the first time. I didn't want to walk the first time. And we were going downhill. I didn't want to do that.
Right.
But I went because everyone else went.
Yeah, but we were also drinking a bunch of pitchers that night because I think it was like $3 pitchers or something like that at one of the bars. So we were just...
I do regret not coming up as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't because of that reason.
Yeah. But that was just mine. But going back to my sister, she went so bad that when she went to her graduation itself, she forgot her... that little tassel on top of the gown. So she had to pick someone else's up that was on the floor. She forgot her shoes. She was significantly hungover to the point where my mom had to come down from the stage and like meet her while she comes up from like where they're sitting so she can give her like some water and stuff because she's, got a bad hangover.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, back to yours.
I mean, like, no, it wasn't that much. Like, of course, we went. I blacked out the night before, and my friend, a couple of my friends came over to our apartment because I was the only one in my apartment graduating. Because my friend graduated before me in December, then I graduated in our apartment, and then so a couple of our friends came over, hung out. We all hung out the morning before, had a couple of beers, and then we left. And then I left. But for us, we did ours on our football stadium, and we had all the colleges there with us. Mm-hmm. So you had to sit through every single college. And ours was different than yours because ours was in May, but it was hot. And when I tell you, I was dying of a heat stroke in a black gown on a turf field on metal chairs. I wanted to shoot myself. I fell asleep during the ceremony, honestly. 100% fell asleep. I was playing Game Pigeon with a lot of my friends. I was texting with a lot of my friends, and they were like, this sucks. Like, all we were talking about was like, yo, I don't want to be here. Mm-hmm. Like, that was it. That was like I was excited to graduate, but I was like, this sucks, honestly. Because I'm hot.
To sit through all of this.
There were thousands of people. I'm like, I'm hot. I don't want to do this. I don't care about any of these people. Just get me out. So that's what we did. Like, we did it. We walked. They called our name. We walked, handed our card, went up, grabbed it, got the picture, and that was it. Like, that was like, in the end, I would suggest people to do it because it is a once in a lifetime.
Oh, definitely. Especially when in that moment, if you want to feel some type of accomplishment through all the stress and shit you had to put up with for the last 4, 6, how many years you're in college for.
You probably won't go through it again unless you go get your master's. But for most people, or doctorate or PhD or whatever, on the general sense, the average doesn't go and get that. So doesn't go to get actual after the undergrad. So I would say definitely do it because it is a sense. Like I didn't love sitting there, but I liked going up, grabbing my fake diploma. But it was a sense of accomplishment that I did it, that I was able to get through all that, walk and do my thing. In high school, it really didn't matter. But in college, it's a little different. It does suck to sit through thousands of people if that's what you do. But when your name is called, it is a sense of like, it's like a weight lifted off your chest. It's 1,000 pounds of weight lifted off your chest. And like, I'm done. I did it. I went through the stress, the papers, the exams, the whatever you want to call it. And then you think about all that you did, that you got through, then all the things you did. Yeah. Which all the things I did came after I walked. Sat down, we all left, we all got pictures of each other, of course. And then as soon as we were done grabbing pictures, I went to my uncle's and we had like a little like family graduation thing. But the entire time I was like texting my friends like, yo, what we're doing now? Like, well, we knew what we were doing, but like when we meeting, what we want to do. I'll be back at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. I'd start up at 8, that kind of stuff. Like, and that when you do that, it was a huge accomplishment to be like, we're not going out just to go out anymore. We're going out to celebrate like, you making it kind of thing. And then you're done.